Hello Disney Infinity Trainers, welcome back to another episode of my Let's Build a Toybox series here on iStarlyTV. Now today we are going to continue working on the community college, the college project that we started in the last episode and that I'm very excited to continue. Now, if you noticed, there is a character that we're playing as which constitutes a great irony in building this school because we're playing as Phineas, and as you know, the premise of the show Phineas and Ferb is that they are on summer vacation, and because they're on summer vacation, they have a lot of time to do whatever they want, and obviously they do a lot of crazy things, get themselves into a lot of kind of crazy shenanigans, and so today what Phineas is doing is he's helping build a school, the one thing that he is trying to escape from, I guess, in the show. Not necessarily trying to escape from it, but you know, you get what I'm saying. There is an irony here that Phineas is the one who's helping us build this school today, but we're one for some good irony. And so what I've done so far is I deleted the path. I'm gonna add it back again, but I'm gonna kind of make sure it fits well. And I did have a couple suggestions on that, specifically about kind of using the curve piece for the path instead and using the intersection piece. So we're going to take a look at that and see if that looks any better. And what I've gone ahead and done is I've pushed the buildings back because there's something I want to do with this bell tower that I think is hopefully going to make it a little better. So we're going to go ahead and move this a little bit for now. I don't think it's too necessary for us to move this, but let's go ahead and go in spark mode. So basically I'm going to need to, no, actually that works out really well. Yeah, that's a piece right there, so that's going to work out really well. The way I want to do this is I want it to be kind of dipped inward with the bell tower so that there is, it kind of creates this different level of things. Maybe actually to make it higher up, because what I was thinking of doing was basically making it so that it's surrounded by like steps on all sides, and then from there you can kind of go inward, so it's kind of dipped inward. Maybe I will do that. We'll go ahead and try that for now, and that could be an interesting way to set this up. Let's see, are there steps? There should be a kind of stair. There we go. But that's kind of big actually. I expected it to be a little smaller than that. I don't know if I want to do it like this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Let me see. Let me see. I thought that there would be a better piece, so that's going to kind of throw off the plans that I had initially about this, but that's not that big of a deal. It's not too much of a problem, I guess. Okay. Are there other stair-like pieces aside from these stairs? You know, there might not be, so we might just have to, if we want to continue, go about doing the things like go about doing this the way I wanted to, we might have to just use that. We'll try it, I guess. Let's see. I mean, it could look cool. It could look cool. We'll try it out. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. At least this is kind of working quickly. Oh yeah, and then undo that. And then add another block there. We'll add that block afterwards just so we can save some time here. And then I'll go ahead and theme all afterwards so that it looks a little better, I guess. Let's see. You'll see how this works out. I mean, I'm going to end up moving the terrain so that it matches up with this, so it doesn't look kind of super out of place or anything like that. That was not supposed to happen. There we go. Alright, so hopefully this looks okay when I'm finished. I want this school to look as beautiful and elegant as possible. I want it to look like a school that I would go to myself. So, yeah, actually, this looks like this could work, I think. And once we fix everything else, I think it'll become a lot more apparent. So let's go ahead and try that. So what we're doing here is we're moving this up and probably moving it back a little bit, yes. And yeah, it's going to go like that. Unfortunately, we might have to reconfigure a lot of the pieces that we're using, though, because we're not only moving this up, we're moving it back as well. So let's see, how does that look? I think that works. I think that can work. Let's hope so. All right, so these could be wooden stairs. How would those look? Those look okay. Let's try that. It might not look good if everything is wooden, so let's go ahead and theme all and see how that looks. It blends in fairly well with the terrain, so this could work indeed. All right, so let's go ahead and move this back. So I see how we're going to be doing it. It's going to be like moving it up and moving it to the side so it matches. Yes, that looks like it matches. We might have to move that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, I suppose, as they say. So the awkward thing is we're probably going to have to add some terrain in between here. Somewhere in between right here. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. All right. And let's do that. And then, of course, this one right here. So not sure how long I'm going to end up spending on this project, but it'll probably end up being like a lot of the other projects I've worked on in this Toybox series. So I'm excited for that. Let's go ahead and see. So of course we're going to need to add the additional blocks here, the ones that are missing. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's do that quickly by doing this little trick. No, not that. That can stay there. And we'll spread out some newspaper stands and some hot dog stands and maybe even some churro carts. Although I don't know if you'd want to buy churros at school. It's probably not the best place to get a good churro. But what do I know? So I streamed yesterday, and that was pretty awesome, as it always is. So thank you for those of you who've been coming out to the streams. I will post a link to my Twitch account in the description, and feel free to follow me on Twitch if you're interested in watching streams. It's a lot of fun when we play there. Usually what I do is play some community toy boxes, or I also just make sure that I do some building, some toy box building. So, but you know, anything's up for grabs there. So really, I can do just about anything there. I want to cover this because it kind of looks ugly like that. And while we're at it, we'll probably... Oh, no, that's too big. While we're at it... Oh, wow, that's too small. Okay, awkward. Stupid. How ugly would it look if we just put it like that? I'm going to try it like that. Hopefully that doesn't, like, ruin what we're going for here. Let me see. Let me see how that looks. All right. Does it look like just a big random patch? Kind of, yes. But maybe I'll just put something on top of it to kind of facilitate what it is. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it as is. And we're just going to go ahead and copy that on all sides. Anyway, yeah, so if you're interested in watching me stream, I do enjoy the company. And we have a good group going on there. You know, usually I get maybe 10, 11 viewers. And that's a pretty good number for me. 11 is a lot to me. That's 11 people who care to take time out of their days to watch me play this game live. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, like I said, it's gonna be like, it would be like this, right there. I wish there was a smaller, like an in-between floor piece, but for some reason there's not. And maybe I'll get an aerial view, not Ariel from The Little Mermaid, but, you know, Ariel as in up in the sky view, and kind of see how it looks from a distance. So let's go ahead and try that. Because that'll go ahead and tell me if it looks terrible or not. Now, of course, I'm going to need to fill in the gaps right there, but otherwise, yeah, this looks fine. This definitely looks fine. And I think we can work that out. We're going to have to add in those gaps, of course. But once we do, I think that this has a lot of potential, so I'm excited for that. Now, unfortunately, once again, if you couldn't tell, I am playing on the PlayStation 4, which, if you know, that means that I am limited in the amount of time that I can record, so I'll be wrapping up in 15 minutes, unfortunately. Not 15 minutes from now, but I'll be recording for a total of 15 minutes. So that's quite unfortunate, but I definitely wanted to make sure, because I'm going to probably be going out with friends in a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that I get this episode out on time, because I have sometimes messed up and, missed an episode or so, and I don't want that to happen again, so. Let's see, what are we missing here? We're probably going to need something like this, unfortunately, because it's kind of an awkward block. This is an awkward piece that we're missing here. Let's see if that's what we need. Yeah, that's exactly what we need, unfortunately. But go ahead and theme all. I hope there's not anything that I'm missing there, right? No, it's just these two. And then we're going to set the theme. Set the theme for the Toybox terrain. And that's going to allow us to, add more pieces there. Now I will be adding some grass as well, because colleges are not just brick. You definitely have some grass throughout campus, but I'm going to section it off and put, different pieces here, different pieces there, stuff like that. So when we're finished, it'll look a lot better. For right now, these are just the beginning stages of this wonderful campus. And we're going to have to hire some professors. So if you have anyone in mind. Merlin, perhaps? Merlin should be a character in the game. Alright, so that looks like we could fill that in with... No, that's too big. It's too chunky. And that's too small. Of course it is, right, dudes? Of course it is. This will probably end up being covered somehow anyways, but for right now I think it's still just a good idea to, to fill that in just so it doesn't look too ugly. So, and we're going to be moving this, of course. That lines up pretty well. And so does that. Okay, so I'm excited here. So hopefully we can get a good amount done here today. But this is a good start, because this is something I wanted to do, was make sure that the bell tower was dipped inward, just because I thought it would add a little bit of some kind of dimension to it, so that it's not like the entire thing is flat. And yeah, now you can kind of walk inward, and then maybe we can have some little events going on at the bell tower, some students hanging out, selling churros, eating some hot dogs, we'll put some benches around here, and that'll be all good and dandy. So maybe we'll work on the school like that. We'll kind of do it in sections. And I have plans. I would like to make it so that you can kind of enter certain classrooms or something. So we're going to try to work that out. This is going to be a really detailed school, at least when I'm done with it. So hopefully that works out fairly well. So let's see. The registration hall. This is the registration hall. It'll be out here. And that's a good place to have that. It's like right behind the bell tower. So when you need to go register for classes or see your counselor, when you need to, make sure that all of your finances are paid off, or check on your status as a student, that kind of thing. And yeah, I would love to make it so that you could enter here, but we'll work on that once we get the whole idea of the school down, for sure. I think it could be cool. It wouldn't be that big of a deal if we had some grass here, so maybe we could afford to change this to some grassy terrain and see how that looks. Oh, but that would be the whole chunk. So instead what I'm going to do, I think, is we're going to go ahead and delete delete this, sorry, I've been hanging out with Dieter too much. So what I think I want to do is have sections of grass here, and I am running out of time very quickly, so, whoops. Something like that, that's pretty large. We need something flat, so we're going to start working on that, yes. Something like that. There we go. So we could have some brick here and over here, and then maybe just in between have that grass, those little grass blocks. Maybe like closer to it, so like right here or something. This can be grass and this can be grass. But that's about it for the episode, unfortunately. I will work on this and maybe showcase what it looks like in the next episode. But I do thank you very much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed, and please let me know if you have any suggestions for our school. It's going to be pretty nice. It's going to start developing into something really beautiful. But thank you for watching, and